All right now. Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Once again, this your boy Rod Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Hey, today is still August 22nd, 2019, a Thursday here in Shreveport, Louisiana, which is the county seat of Caddo Parish. Here in Louisiana, y'all, we have what's called Parish. I guess you could say it's still under the Napoleonic Code of Law that was done back in, the time from, again, when Napoleon, the Louisiana Purchase. But to make a long story short, y'all watch this video that I'm going to put up. And then I'm going to come back after this video and give a little bit of commentary. In this video, you have the current sheriff of Caddo Parish basically getting on a national stage now, saying that the good inmates need to stay in jail. Well, if they good inmates, why are they in jail? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of questions we need to ask here in Louisiana and throughout America as far as prison reform. But why did the present sheriff, the incumbent, who's running for election here in October, make the statement that he made? We need a good one to wash our cars. We need some of these niggas, man, to cook the food at the jail. We need some of these niggas to come to my house and build a sandbag wall so when the flood come, which y'all know we be flooded, when the flood come, my house will be cool. We dealing with a system of corruption here on a whole nother level, because anybody that challenges sheriff is pretty much dead meat around here. Ask a lot of your local politicians, preachers, and even a Negro like me. If you ain't never been to CCC, you will never understand. But we finna play this video real quick for y'all to show y'all. And then once this video comes, we doing something whole totally new. We trying to edit videos now at the real new behind new. We trying to take it to another level. But watch this video that we finna put up. And then I'm going to come back after this video with a little personal analysis as a citizen here at Caddo Parish. Because everybody blame former Mayor Ollie Tyler and former Chief Ben Crump for all this crime. But ain't nobody said nothing to the sheriff, you know what I'm saying, about the crime. You know what I'm saying? Hell, the county seat is Shreveport. Your sheriff's department's headquarters is downtown Shreveport. This is what's called the county seat. Basically, where your courthouse and all that is in the city of Shreveport, which is in Caddo Parish. That's a little of, I guess you say, a political lesson for free. Y'all give me a second, check out this video, and then I'm going to come right back.
Most prisoners are doing routine labour for little to no money. The problem is that can lead to them being seen less as humans paying their debt to society and more as a pool of virtually free labour. And don't take that from me. Listen to Louisiana Sheriff Steve Prater. When the state, as part of a prison reform programme, started releasing some inmates, he went public with an unusual complaint.
In addition to the bad ones, and I call these bad, in addition to them, they're releasing some good ones that we use every day to wash cars, to change oil in our cars, to cook in the kitchens, to do all that where we save money. Well, they're going to let them out. The ones that we use in our work release program, they're going to let them out.
Just think about what he's saying there. He's saying some people need to stay behind bars because they're too valuable as a source of free labour, which is exactly the same plan as the villain in the Shawshank Redemption. Normally, to qualify as a Stephen King villain, you have to be something way less stupid, like an evil car or a guy who forgot to wear a coat.
In that video, you saw the current sheriff of Caddo Parish making a statement that if nothing else was so ambiguous that you don't really know what he meant. We're going to give the sheriff the benefit of the doubt. But what did you mean, Sheriff Steve Prater, about the good ones? Well, we got some good ones in jail. Well, if they good, shouldn't they be released? You know what I'm saying? For good time. Don't we have good time laws in Louisiana? So for a sheriff to make that type of statement is basically indicative of what he thinks. He know he needs some good niggas and even some good white boys. Anybody that's gonna do what I say and go along to get along and go out here and help me make this money. That's what basically the sheriff is saying. We need somebody to wash our cars. We need somebody to continue the day-to-day functions of what the citizens of Caddo Parish is basically paying for. The citizens of Louisiana and the citizens of the United States. Because guess what? That man getting money from a lot of different entities for people being in there. Now, I've had people to come on my Facebook page and make statements like, you niggas need to stay out of jail then, which is true. Because the only way you go up in Caddo Parish, now I ain't gonna say the only way, because we've had 2 or 3 innocent people go to jail, and 1 or 2 from the Cooper Road, Avamore, Rest in Peace, and all that done got railroaded by Caddo Parish court system. So really, we don't give a fuck about really the technicality, because on technicality, it's a lot of Negroes in there right now on weed charges. Although marijuana is being sold around the country legally. There's a lot of people that are on trumped up charges. Because, you see, we just had I just posted on my page earlier today where the city of Shreveport police are being sued now behind an alleged incident that happened here in Shreveport this month. I think it was like the 6th of August, where they ran up in this dude's house, drug him out of his house in his drawer, beat him up, then arrested him falsely. Now they getting sued. That's not to mention what happened to Anthony Childs. We still have questions that need to be answered on it. What happened right across the street from my house when they literally came out here and beat up a bunch of innocent people, man? So now we have the sheriff who's in the county seat. Where's Sheriff Steve Prater's office? Downtown Shreveport. But he wants to get up there and say like he's a miracle to Caddo Parish when hell, your county seat got just as many murders, unsolved murders, as anywhere in the country. So we said all this to say this. Looking at that previous video that we just showed you, knowing that this is the way that this person thinks, an old time, good old boy slave mentality, where he got so much information on your local politicians and preachers, maybe even Negro like me. You know what I'm saying? But he got so much information. The only difference between me and him is I'm still going to stand up against him and say, well, look, cuz, you need to go. Because you're using Caddo Correctional Center as a cash cow. I'm going to say, look, cuz, you need to go. Because you are not helping solve some of these unsolved crime when you're the head of all Caddo Parish, which includes Shreveport. Now, we know that there's difference between local, which is Shreveport, Caddo, which is pretty much state. We know the difference between politics, but come on, man, your office is downtown Shreveport. You share the same city hall building that we all share. And you mean to tell me that we got to pay y'all extra now to really help us stop the killing, when in reality, you are some of the main people that don't even want marijuana legalized? Because if we legalize marijuana, that means we're going to cut into your operation with so many niggas in jail here in Shreveport and Caddo Parish right now on marijuana charges. Talking to somebody who knows. And that was my fault, yeah. There's a point of personal responsibility. But when you got people, I'm going to just keep this real and I'm going to make this short. That video is not indicative of real life. Because your sheriff, your caring sheriff, who needs to be voted out, no matter who you vote for, do not vote for him. He basically stood up and said, we need the good niggas to stay here to help us watch these goddamn cars. Who the fuck gonna watch these cars if we let the good niggas go? We know the bad ones gonna stay here. Well, if we let the good niggas go. This is basically, in my opinion. Now, I'm not putting words in the sheriff's mouth. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, trying to get the sheriff to come after me and try to plant evidence on me falsely, which again, we see that is a pattern here in Shreveport City, locally, and Caddo Parish. You know what I'm saying? So, what we're trying to do is get the public to understand, no matter what politician you see standing with that sheriff, no matter what preacher you see standing with that sheriff, that means they are a part of the status quo. They're not going to challenge that sheriff because they're scared that what happened to Michael Williams, Calvin Lester, and all these other people going to happen to them. Or they're going to do some fed time because your sheriff has just that much power. Believe it or not, the sheriff of Caddo Parish is the head of Homeland Security for this region. So the dude got some power, and I'm risking my life by even doing this video about it. But at the same time, if we get him out of the office, then we might see what other evil awaits us. Because from the looks of it, you know, we don't have too many other options. We got We got Glenn Cornell. I talked to him. He seemed like a good man. I never did get touch with Hatfield. They never got in touch with me, so maybe I'm not that important to them. So as of right now, I'm going to just be real. I'm not going to endorse a candidate, but I know whoever the last few months or last few weeks, I'm probably going to go hard in the paint with. Y'all all reach out to me, including the sheriff of Caddo Parish. Let's talk about a lot of this stuff. Let's talk about all that abuse that we caught on camera coming out of Caddo Correctional Center. Let's talk about the price gouging and extortion racket that you got going on at Caddo Correctional Center. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about how we can change that bullshit. Outside, if you want to be continue being shared, let's talk about how we can change it. You know what I'm saying? What would you do to change your own corruption that's been going on here in Caddo Parish? So y'all look at the video, and I'm trying something different, y'all. I'm trying editing and all that so I can take my craft to another level. We thank y'all for supporting us. It was a couple of y'all that really came through for us over the last month and a half trying to help me take care of a personal situation. And y'all really showed y'all support to the point where you all are financially a blessing to us. We haven't forgot about y'all. We really want to thank y'all, but we're not going to put y'all out there in public. But we thank y'all for supporting the real news behind news, because we're going to bring it to you like it is. Channel 3 ain't going to tell you this shit. Channel 12 is not going to even touch the subject. Channel 6 might, and that's only because Pastor Lionel Mays got a homeboy there, and he helped us fight. But other than that, ain't nobody really trying to help fight, because your politicians are caught up in the corruption. They can't say nothing. Do you understand? Your politicians and your preachers. Let me show y'all something. And I know a lot of people finna be mad. I'm gonna shut this down. Larry Brandon supported Barbara Norton. 100% knew this bitch was crooked. But yet still, everybody got mad at me when I said that thing I said about the Planet of the Apes. But this woman here, I knew she was crooked, and it was something way bigger than what everybody on Facebook saw. They blew it out of proportion. But this same preacher supporting a crook, knowingly. And guess what? Everybody going to his church Sunday, giving them tens of thousands of dollars every other month. And here, we at the Real News Behind News, we really trying to tell y'all the truth. We don't get caught up in religion, politics, religious parties or affiliation, political affiliations of parties. We don't get caught up in none of the fringe groups that's meant to divide us all. We just tell you the truth. All of it is bullshit. Because every time you align yourself with a certain clique, you become divisive, because now you got to hate somebody else. So we at the Real News Behind News, we just look at everybody's bullshit, and then we put it all together and find the truth behind it and bring you the real news behind news. Y'all be blessed. Anybody but Prater. That's the sign that I'm going to print up. Anybody but Prater. For share. Caddo Parish.